We got Stone Cold from 1991, the action vehicle of Brian Bosworth, but that vehicle stalled, kind of like his football career. So, this is one of those cheesy, trashy early 90s, late 80s action movies. I mean, depending on your taste, whether you could get through these movies or not. You take them for what they were. You take them for what they were. Guns. There was explosions. Take them for what they were. Not CGI either, which is a you know thing I always appreciated. So the Boz right here, he's a he's a cop in Alabama who's on suspension, and he stops a real cartoonish gang of grocery store robbers in the beginning of the movie. They're so cartoonish that the gang from RoboCop would be like, "Hey guys, take it down a notch." And he's confronted by the guy from the Tracy Ullman show and another guy who are in the FBI. So they make him infiltrate a biker gang. A biker gang led by this maniac right here, Lance Henriksen, who is the best part of this movie. He is awesome in this movie. Good old Lance Henriksen. He's a true maniac in this movie. He's like smiling and laughing the whole time. Oh, he's like shooting people and setting people's dead bodies on fire and stuff. He's always very happy in this movie. Very evil, and he's entertaining. He's very entertaining. Here he is right here again. And there's his original right hand man in the movie, William Forsythe, who is basically a living cartoon in this movie. But the Boz here, the Boz, he doesn't really seem to. Yeah, he has a presence and all with the way he looks because he definitely stands out. With the spectacular mullet and all. He's got a great mullet in this movie. But his I don't know, his everything in this. Not good. Come on, look at him. Look at him there. He's like, "Yeah, I'm just here." I don't know. I've seen this movie a couple times throughout my life, and every time I see this, it just kind of seems like he's just sleepwalking through it. But he's the complete opposite of him. Lance Henriksen right here. Lance Henriksen, he's putting his all into this movie. He really is. But okay, so I'll get a bit more into it. So the Boz goes to a biker bar with the guy from the Tracy Ullman show, and he tries to infiltrate a biker gang. Lance Henriksen's biker gang, and William Forsythe isn't too fond of it, but he makes him wants him to be a prospect anyway, and he's given them government issued bulletproof vests, and he's just basically flexing muscle. He's trying to get in there. Oh, this is a really great part. He gets into it. There's a part where he just walks into this fighting pit where there's this gigantic guy who's picking people over his head and snapping them over his knee, giving them backbreakers left and right. And he gives Brian Bosworth a backbreaker. Brian Bosworth gets back up and beats his ass and wins the respect of the biker gang. It's it's pretty funny. It's pretty funny. It was what it was. It was what it was. It was a cheesy action movie. It was good though. There was a lot of explosions in it. For these types of 80s and 90s movies, you needed a good amount of explosions. So he's in the gang. Well, not in the gang. All right, Lance Henriksen has about 50 or 60 different chances to kill the Boz in this movie. He really does. He really does. And he just kind of like keeps letting him go, which just kind of makes things worse for himself when you think about it at the end. I mean, he could have ended this movie within 30 minutes, but he just kept letting him live. He was good in this, though. He was really good in this. He was cheese-tacularly evil. Cheese-tacularly, if that's a word. And so was William Forsythe. There's this great part. William Forsythe ends up making him Boz. He ends up making Boz as a cop. And he comes after him with this RoboCop gun. And they get into this high-speed motorcycle chase. And William Forsythe, there, no joke, there's these scenes where it's an obvious stunt double that looks like he has a wig stapled to his head. And then there's parts where there's William Forsythe looking right here, not wearing a bandana on his head. And then all of a sudden he has a bandana on his head. And this is going back and forth between one scene. In fact, all right, spoiler alert, William Forsythe ends up dying right before he hits a car. He's wearing a bandana. And then when he's dead on the floor, no bandana. I'm going to say the editor was asleep at the wheel at that one. Or maybe the director. Who knows? But overall, if you like these types of movies, I'd say check it out. I won't say that it's going to be the greatest thing you've ever seen. But the Boz, this was this was kind of a step up from his football career, because that didn't work out too good. And then I saw I saw that they made a second one of these, like straight to VHS or something. And I just found out about this a couple months ago. So man, I don't know if I want to check that one out. I don't think this one could be touched. Stone Cold from 1991, starring the Boz. The Boz, if only he could have kept up movies of this caliber, he would have made a killing at the video stores back in the early to mid 90s. So, probably going to be looking at a couple more of these action movies. And have a good one, everybody. Peace out.